I almost always teach a breathing out for our twist, because when we breathe out with our twist, we are supporting our lower back. And because most of us, from what you have filled out when you were registering for these classes, many of us have some back issues or spinal issues. So that's why in the forms that I will be teaching, we will not be breathing in as we twist as much as we breathe out. When we breathe out, our spine and the muscles create almost like a back brace and a corset sort of action to support our spine when we do our twist. So that's why we're always going to be breathing out as much as possible when we do our twisting. Again, when we do our twisting, I want you to focus on the navel being the first part, the heart being the second, and the head to be the last when you twist. Try to have your hips square when you first do them. So when you twist, you draw your navel first, then your heart, and then your head, kind of like stair steps. After you figure out what feels right, so let's say we've been doing this about 2 or 3 times, then if you want to bend your knees and let your hips swivel a little bit, keeping the knees going forward, you can do that. The next round, then maybe you let your knees bend, but I want your knees to still go towards your toes. Don't try to turn in the knees themselves. Try to let those knees bend and move with you. So that's the difference of some people want to turn in their knees, which actually hurts the knee joint itself. Whereas if you bend, let the hips go, and then the knees kind of dip down, you'll get a safer action for your body, and you'll still find fluidity. So pretend you're like a staircase, one of those big grand staircases from a southern Georgian home. You're going to start with the navel first, spiral up, and then we'll let the bottom part spiral over. All right? So just some little keys that you can use later for our twisting. We do tend to do each side equally in the forms that I teach. There are forms where you'll spend 20 minutes just going to the left and then another 20 minutes just going to the right. The forms that I tend to teach are a little bit more simplified so that we go left, right, 1 for our brain, 2 for the functionality of what's going on in our body and what I feel called to teach for a series coming into a season, or what it feels like everyone's going to be going through into the next few weeks. Because I am an intuitive and a healer, that comes very naturally to me. So that's why we are working on the ones that have to do with twisting and eliminating toxins, is because that also builds our immunity. Whether that's for normal colds, viruses, flus, what have you, we are building our immune system, and we're also balancing the warm and cold in our body so we can handle temperature changes better. So that is why we're going to be working more and more on the forms that we have been starting. Along with the twisting, the new forms also have some balance work, and that's where we've been drawing the C shape with our feet, or you can pick the foot up, come up to the toes, and then the heels, or you can come completely up. And it's okay if you don't get there yet. Not everybody can do that. I'm surprised I was actually able to do that because I have an injury that decided to make itself known again last night. So I'm surprised I was even able to do it. My body likes me right now, but it's not always going to like me. So there are some days where I am right there with you, just doing my small shape. So try not to criticize yourself or think bad thoughts to yourself because it's not working. When you do that, you are actually programming your body to think it can't do it, and it will actually stop itself from progressing. Same thing with yoga or any kind of exercise. So try to be nice to yourself and think positive thoughts. Try not to tell mean things to yourself while you're doing that. That's counterproductive to what Tai Chi and QiGong is all about. Along with the balancing and the twisting, we learn to rock side to side to feel the sides of our feet moving. When we do this, notice how your feet almost feel like they squish one way and then they compress the other, almost like sponges. The reason why we feel that is because the capillary beds, the bottom of our feet, we have a lot of nerves and vessels on our feet. So we're kind of giving ourselves a massage and a reflexology massage. We have lots of pressure points and acupressure points along our feet, our hands, and our ears. And whenever we do anything where we're rubbing them or pressing them and releasing, we're actually activating all of those points. So when we do that, we're not only working on getting our brain to remember how to balance, but we're also getting our body to feel that compression so that it can actually strengthen the stability of our feet and also the nerve endings on the feet. Then we go back and forth, forward and back, also helping the brain to program to find the center, but also strengthening the bones and muscles of the feet. Throughout our lives, we tend to wear tighter shoes without meaning to. And in our day and age, we wear shoes almost all the time. So when we need to flex our feet, they don't want to flex as well. We can't wiggle our toes. We can't move the toes individually. We can't scrunch and release them. So that's why we want to practice rocking in all directions that we can to remind those feet that they can move. Just like your hands, in order to have them stay flexible and moving, we've got to move the fingers individually. We've got to move them in lots of different ways so that they don't take the form of writing or holding a book or working at a computer, because the more we do that without doing counter poses or counter movement to that, they sort of form into those forms. It's why in arthritis, it'll take the form of, let's say you were a writer, your arthritis in your hand will start to form as if you were holding a pen. And it's the way that arthritis works. It will try to make things curve. So with our Tai Chi, we're also going to be helping any of our arthritic areas. So if you used to take any of the aquatic arthritis classes with me, then you know that we do some of our Tai Chi in the water as well. All right, so we're going to start with opening up our Qi. Our Qi is our life force. It's going to work through our body and help us to add energy and vibrance to our body, as well as clear some of the stuff that doesn't really need to be there anymore. So Qi is part of matter. Matter is in everything. So I'm going to move from our little lecture onto our practice now. We're going to take a slightly wider stance, a slight horse stance. It doesn't have to be very wide, just whatever feels right today. Wiggle around on those feet. Make sure you feel stable. If at any time you need to sit in a chair or have a chair or a wall nearby for stability, go ahead and do that. Everything we're doing today, you can also do it in a chair, even the balancing stuff. Slightly bend your knees, taking your knees towards second, third toe just a little bit. Take your tailbone down. Feel the navel area. See if you can envision that whole lower abdominal area slightly lifting up and coming in. So when we drop our tailbone down, our pelvis starts to tilt. And we want to take our navel and use the muscles here that are like a trampoline all knitted together in sort of this nice tight weaving. We want to draw all of that in and slightly up, but we can still breathe using our abdominal muscles and our diaphragm, but we've engaged all of those deep internal muscles in our hips to balance our pelvis for our lower back's health. Our knees are slightly bent, letting blood flow and Qi continuously move. Roll the shoulders back. Arms are relaxed. Wiggle them out, let them relax. Take a few breaths. Let all of the worries, all of the concerns, all of the frustrations just go to the side right now. Let your eyes become soft, and your throat is going to start to soften as well, as if you are gently fogging up some glass with your breath. See if you can continue to allow your throat to open. This is going to help the thyroid area and your throat chakra. Good. We're going to bring that earth energy up towards our heart. Gentle hands, loose wrists. And exhale, gentle wrists down. So we let the earth energy slide down. using your intuitive abilities, your imagination, your mind's eye. Imagine that you're bringing up that qi, that earth energy up through the body and into the heart, and letting it lower down, just like a pump. Strengthening the heart itself and the region around it. Feel the breath as it moves into the belly, and as you breathe out, drawing the navel closer to the spine. Good. We're going to breathe in. Now we're going to push the mountain. Palms face away as we breathe out, gently pushing that earth energy into the mountain. Grabbing what still is right for you and bringing that stability back and letting it flow down. Let's try that again. One more time. Good. Now we're going to take our palms and face them outwards, and we're going to inhale all the way up. Up overhead. Let it glide down through your channel, all the way down the spine, into the earth. Let's do that again. Breathing in. And breathing out. Letting your arms drift to the center, crisscrossing, slowly bending the knees. We're going to breathe out and twist to the left. Navel first, heart second, arms open, reaching the palms away to opposing walls. Inhale, unwind, belly, chest, arms. Other way, breathing out. Breathing in. Unwind. Hands pressed down. We're going to gently let them float up in front of us. Wrists are loose. Arms come out, and we let them gently flow down. Elbows lead the way. Good. We're going to pause here and breathe. With the movements that we are doing, we just ran through where you were not bending your knees as much. We're going to run through it again, and we're going to add our knee movement with it. I want you to be careful of how your knees are operating today. Let the knees try to go to second and third toe. If you need to have a closer stance today, that's okay. If you need even a deeper stance, do what's right for you. As we go through today's class, I'm probably going to get deeper and wider of a stance because that's how my body works. But if yours does not, that's fine. Please don't compare yourself to me or anybody else or any movie or picture that you've seen. I want you to listen to your body so that you can flow easily with the chi within you and around you. So we're going to stand in that horse stance. It's a little bit more comfy. Take your tailbone down, do all of that prep work of the spine and the pelvis. Feel the breath coming in through your low Dantien. Slightly bent knees. We're going to inhale, let the earth come up and unbend your knees as you come up. Exhale, slight bend in the knees. Three times. Push the mountain. Two more times. Crisscrossing the hands towards each other in front. And breathing out as we twist. Inhale to the center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to the center. Hands drift down. Gentle wrists come up. And out. Go into it again, raising the earth up and lowering the earth. Raising the earth up and lowering the earth. Raising the earth up, pushing the mountain, breathe out. Bring it in and down. Two more. Crisscrossing the arms in front. This time let's add the knees, bend your knees. Navel leads the way, heart, then arms, and then if you want the hips and knees to move with you, they can. Inhale, unwinding to the center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, unwind. Hands come down to the sides. Crisscrossing as we let the wrists read up and out and softly drift down. feels here. Notice how your body is feeling. How your pulse feels throughout your body and your mind. Feeling the movement of the low Dantien. We have really worked on this low Dantien. We've been doing twisting, we've been doing lots of deep breathing into it. We've started to work a little bit in the middle Dantien. Now we're going to start working with our qi and moving it through the 3 dantians and then back down. We're going to be gathering up our qi from underneath of us and holding it in our lower Dantien. And we're going to slowly start to move that qi side to side, almost in an infinity type movement, as if you're rolling this ball. And then I want you to start to weave your body with it, side to side. Slightly bend the knees if you want, but feel that swish side to side in your feet. You can let your torso move with you. Soft gaze. Gentle throat. Now we're going to take that action up into our middle Dantien, the heart and lung area, going almost into the throat area. And we're going to take it to the upper, near the forehead and crown, the third eye, upper Dantien. I'm going to let it travel back down to the middle. To the lower. Then we're going to pause in the middle, holding the chi ball. Breathe in, let it expand. Breathe out, bring the hands closer together until it feels like you're holding a physical ball. Breathing in. The size of the chi in between your hands is going to feel different to everybody. Sometimes it's going to feel really big, other times small. Sometimes very strong and sturdy, other times not so much. I'm going to do that same action in the middle Dantien, letting the hands come together and float up towards the middle. Breathing in and out through the middle Dantien. Arms are gently, fluidly moving. going to do that from the upper Dantien, breathing in and out. And we're going to take that straight down through all the Dantians, back to the earth. And let the arms relax by the sides. Going to gather up that chi again in front of the low Dantien. We're going to slide it over to the right, and we're going to go over the right shoulder. It's okay if you can't go all the way around the head, that's fine. We're going to round and down. Now try using your legs to help you. Bend your knees, sway a little bit, lean just a wee bit. Tailbone down, sway to the other side. Bring it to the low Dantien. Find the fluidity for you. Maybe you take that out a little bit in front of you. Tailbone down is going to help your lower back. Drawing the navel into the spine is going to help support it. Good. Pause. Let's breathe in and out of that Dantien. Let's go the other way. Inhaling it up, around, and down. A few more times, just let yourself move with it. Find the fluidity for you today. Good, and then bring it to the center when you're ready. We're going to pass the chi side to side. Let yourself weave side to side with it. You may have noticed that we've been staying in our wider stance. Bring your chi towards the middle when you're ready, and then step a little closer. So you're in a little closer of a horse stance. Weave that ball side to side. Notice the difference in your feet and how much more stability you need to have listening to what the feet are doing. Remember, in your practice, you can choose to wear shoes or be barefoot. If you wear shoes, first starting out, you may not want to wear any that have a heel or a wedge to them. But you can eventually start to warm up to doing that once you have a sense of stability for your body. That same movement of side to side. We're going to pause in the middle, and then we're going to push that chi ball forward, rock towards your toes, and then bring that chi ball back, rock towards your heels. Pass the chi ball forward, and then back. Tailbones down, slight bend to the knees. Navel comes in just a wee bit. We're going to come to our middle. Do the same thing. Passing and receiving. Giving and receiving. Let's try the upper. Notice how the higher up we take our hands, a little harder The action has to be in your legs. Feeling all the toes, the full part of the heel. Slight engagement of the inner thighs. Slowly weave your way back down through the dantians. Now let's see if we can do that in a circle motion. Go forward, to the side, back, to the side, and forward, and spiral your way up, slowly moving the hands a little higher, slowly going through the dantians. Feeling the engagement in the feet. Slowly spiral down. Same direction. I know some of you probably wanted to switch directions up there. That's normal, because we want the balance. We'll get there. Pause. Now we go the other direction. Take your time to come back up, just as much time as you did before. Don't let that sense of needing that balance to disrupt the pace. Notice how that urge to go the opposite direction isn't as strong this time. Slowly come down. You're going to notice that your legs are going to feel tired after today's session. Believe it or not, we're doing a lot of work in all the fine little muscle attachments. Good. Coming to center and pause. If you want to feel why we keep our knees bent, I want you to try to do one of those circles with your knees sort of locked in place like sticks. See how much you move. You might feel it on your feet, but you're going to feel more unstable unless you really know how to work with isolation in the body. For me, I'm going to feel stable because I have studied isolation in the parts of my body. But if I didn't know how to do that, it wouldn't feel as stable. Now let your knees bend. The knees are still moving together. And then let them sort of weave. One bends a little, then the other. Taking turns on the feet. Pause, go the other way. Start in that stick sort of movement. Slight bend in the knees. Notice how even you can make your circle then. And then when you take turns with the knees, how you almost isolate one foot and then the other. So I want you to take something in between the bent knees, knees moving together, and a slight bend, one knee and then the other. Find an in-between that really helps you to find your balance here. And then when you're ready, pause. Take a little bit more time if you need. And we're going to go back and forth. Forward and back when you're ready. Try it with stiff legs. Notice how limited you are. You feel like you're going to fall. Let your knees bend a little bit. Rock in the feet, let them roll, even if you have shoes on. Now add your knees a little bit more when you rock. Slowly bending and unbending. You might notice that my head is barely moving. It doesn't go up and down. My pelvis down is doing the action. The rest of my body is like a wave, but my eye line is still the same. Comes with practice. And then let yourself be fluid with it. Let your hands move and go up and down through your dantians. And come back down. And let's let ourselves pause. I'm sure your legs feel really tired right now. We're going to release some of the tension that's in the legs. You can have your feet closer together, or you can take them a little further. You can do a couple different things. If you have a wall in front of you, you can put your hands on the wall and walk your feet away from the wall so that you can allow yourself to sort of stretch out the low back. You can bend your knees, tuck your tail a little bit. You can use a chair. You can use an ottoman, the back of a sofa. You can also do a forward fold, letting your feet be together. You can bend your knees like you're going to do some catching in baseball, but not a very wide stance yet. Letting the tailbone drop down, rolling the shoulders back and squeezing the elbows in, pressing into those thighs, letting your lower back not be doing the work, but instead it's your hands and your legs. You can do some cat-cows here. You can slide down further if you know it's okay to bring your head below your heart. You can do this with your arms stretched over a counter, over that chair, or pressing into the wall, sliding down. And then maybe you come down even further. You have the option of unbending the knees or not. It's going to get more into your hamstrings and even help the lower back. Whether you came all the way down or not, make sure your knees are slightly bent. Slide the hands towards the knees, roll the shoulders back, and slowly hinge back up. If you're using the wall, slowly walk your hands closer to the surface. The feet closer to your hands. Walk the feet closer to the hands. I was thinking I was on a yoga mat, backwards. All right, try a slightly wider stance. Same thing if you're using a surface that you have your hands on or you're holding on to something, start to walk the feet away from that, lengthening out. For those that are standing, you can have the knees bent, you can take the toes out if you want. Same thing, you can come down as far as you want. Inner thighs, bending the knees. Hamstrings, unbend the knees. You're still going to feel a little bit of an inner thigh, but not as deep as if you had the knees bent. Whenever you want, you can play with the direction of your feet, parallel to each other, 45-degree angle, even toes in and heels out. It changes all the sections of the calves, the hamstrings, even the inner thigh muscles on which one is going to feel the stretch. When you go to come up, if you had your toes pointing in and your heels out, make sure they're either parallel or the toes are out 45-degree before you come up so your knees can bend a little bit to help you. Take your time for your blood pressure to come up or to lower as we stand back up. moving the neck, moving the head side to side. We're going to take our hands in front of us, clasping the hands, pushing the knuckles away, squeezing the elbows in, and arching the back a little bit like a cat. Bend your knees. Inhale, open up. Exhale like a cat. Inhale. And then neutralize the spine and let the hands come down. Let's go back to what we were learning at the beginning. Just to let that sink in, raising the earth, pushing the mountain, doing our twisted tree trunk, and then our crossed, and then down, okay? We will continue to build in the next few weeks, but if you want to study your balance poses, you can go to the other recordings to start to work on the C shape or the one-legged pose, or you can continue with today's rocking back and forth and moving the chi ball. So let's set yourself up again, standing in whatever is a comfortable horse stance for you. Find it, take your time. Take your tailbone down, bring the Dantien in a little bit and tailbone down. Hands rest. Center yourself. Feel the rest of the world drifting away. I know your legs are probably a little tired, it's okay. Inhale, raise the earth up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, raise up. Push the mountain, breathe out. Breathe in. Push down. Raise up. Push out. Breathe in. Push down. Again. Crisscrossing the hands gently in front. Twisting tree trunk left. Center as you breathe in. Breathing out, twisting tree trunk to the right. Breathing in, center. Breathe out, hands come down. Breathe in, wrists lead up and out. Scoop the hands up the sides and come up. Down through the center. Grab your chi ball at the lower Dantien and roll it. Weave side to side. Through the middle Dantien and through the upper. Back down. Pausing in the middle, breathing into this lower Dantien and breathing out. You can stay wide apart with the feet or step a little closer as we breathe in and lean forward. Taking that ball up, 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 up. Come to the center, then slightly to the heels, and then straight down through the body. Choosing whether you like the feet close together or wide apart, we're going to inhale, take that chi towards the right side. Inhale up and around the head. Weave the chi side to side up into the middle Dantien, the upper, and back down. Coming to the middle Dantien and breathing in and out. Taking that chi down to the low Dantien. Now we're going to go to the left side, breathing in and around. Weave, let yourself move with it. And to the center. Bring the chi up into the upper Dantien and breathing in and out. And coming straight down through the channels. Standing in an open position. Feeling the chi as it moves through the soles of the feet, the palms of the hands, the third eye. Slight bend in the knees, tailbone down, navel slightly in and up. Crown reaching towards the heavens. Soft throat, gentle eyes. You can stay here as long as you like, especially in your own practice. You can go into a meditation if you'd like. You can sit or stand during that. For our class, however, we're going to close our class, bring the hands towards our sides, turning the palms to face down, and breathing out as we press towards the earth, signaling to our body, our spirit, our mind, our emotions, we are done with our Tai Chi and QiGong practice for right now. Bringing a soft, upright left hand to meet a soft right fist, and bowing into a grateful thanks to all that have come before us, that are present and going to come in these traditions and teachings. Thank you for joining me with the Tai Chi and QiGong class. I'm going to make it available for you to be able to unmute and ask your questions, or you can put them in the chat box and ask there. Remember that you can also contact me privately if you so choose. You can go to my website to contact me that way, unless you still have my email from the confirmation link for these classes. I hope you have a great rest of the week. Remember that we have chair yoga tomorrow and we have meditation on Friday. Through the month of November, I am doing levels of gratitude. So last week, everything was about our self-gratitude. Next week in our class, we will be doing things that have to do with gratitude for everything around you. This week, we are doing gratitude for all those around you. So for everybody else, the gratitude that you have for them. So tomorrow in chair yoga and in our meditation, we will be exploring that. Thanks. All right. Thank you, Valentina, for putting the correct link in today. I'm sorry about that. Yes, please go to the YouTube channel and you can follow some of the classes there. So I did ask today how many of you have taken other classes with me outside of the library, and some of you have been letting me know. That is great, thank you. And I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I'm glad that you're enjoying the classes and finding that it's helping you through these stressful times, and also for some of you, even helping you figure out how to deal with some of the stuff that you've never known how to deal with in a balanced way for you. I'm glad it's working. Kim. Okay, you're not sure which arm crosses on top. So traditionally, when we go to do our twists, we tend to cross. The hand that we're going to go in that direction is the one that we come closer, and the one that's going to be on the outside is the next side. This comes from using this as also a self-defense, but it's also for how we propel our chi. So I'm going to go to my left, so my left hand is on the inside and my right hand is on the outside. When we start to open it, we use the pinky side of the arm. This is actually the strongest part of your forearm too. We use that side to open up, just like in parting clouds, and then we separate. Other side, when we start to come together, my right hand's gonna come in, and then it's gonna lead the way out. It's okay as we begin that you don't remember that. It comes with practice and following the flow of your body and of your chi. You'll notice that your body is going to automatically start to do it as you start to tap in to your chi. I hope that answers your question. Let's see if we have any others. We have your Zoom class. Okay, we got that one. YouTube channel, I'm getting some of the private responses. The YouTube channel is under my business name, Sacred Lotus Heart. You could probably find it also under Haley. I do have links on my website. And also in the confirmation email, there was a lot to read in that confirmation email. It also has the link to the YouTube channel. If you don't have that anymore, you can go to my website, Sacred Lotus Heart, and there are little YouTube blips around there that you just click the button, it'll take you to YouTube. It should actually take you to my channel. But do we have that saved in notes? I can't remember. I know I have it on one of the devices. No? Okay. But you can go to YouTube and type in Sacred Lotus Heart, maybe even add Haley Hinson, and you should be able to find me. I have the Tai Chi classes, the chair yoga, and more. Remember, if you subscribe, then you won't have to actually go and hunt for it. It will actually notify you when there's another one up. And these are absolutely free to you. They're an extra bonus that I do to help all of you out in your practice. All right. Well, does anyone else have any questions about our practice today or other classes that we've had, or even on your own practice at home? Anyone else have any questions or comments that they'd like to make about what they've been experiencing in their own Tai Chi practice at home? I'm not seeing anything coming in on the chat. So thank you very much. I hope all of you have a great day and the rest of the week. Maybe you got to see some of the asteroid showers last night and maybe you didn't. I know some of us are feeling it. Some of us were really hyped up yesterday and tired today, and that might be of it. Sometimes we even have stomach upset or bloating when we have those things happening in our astrological field. So if you know it's not part of an actual medical condition that you have, then it might be some of the astrological and planetary things going on. So just kind of work with it, let it flow. Have a great day. Bye.